Have you ever felt like there's something more to life, something deeper within you waiting to be awakened? In this video, we'll explore ancient wisdom, hidden truths, and spiritual insights that reveal our connection to the divine within. We'll dive into teachings that show us how to transcend limiting beliefs, break free from earthly distractions, and access the profound power of Christ consciousness that resides within each of us. Most people tend to seek the fulfillment of their longings outside of themselves. The world we live in has conditioned us to believe that external achievements can give us what we truly desire. However, experience repeatedly shows us that nothing external can completely satisfy the deep yearning for something more. We often strive for what seems just out of reach, leading us to immerse ourselves in doing rather than being, in action rather than inner perception. It's hard for us to imagine a state of absolute calm and rest, as our thoughts and sensations are usually in constant movement. Yet this stillness can only be attained in a state of joy and understanding that cannot be obtained any other way. The Bible says, "Be still and know that I am God." Seeing the Bible as more than just a theological text allows us to access its spiritual and psychological wisdom for profound personal transformation. At its core, the Bible is all about ascension. When we move past literal interpretations, it becomes a symbolic map, showing us the path to our true essence. By interpreting Jesus' teachings through this perspective, we gain a clear guide for realizing our divine potential. Christ consciousness, often seen as a historical or religious concept, reveals itself as a pathway to transform ourselves spiritually. According to the teachings of William Donahue, known for his unique interpretations of the Bible, everyone embodies Christ, as long as they allow this divine presence to manifest within themselves. When we examine the origin of Christ, it traces back to Christos. This term means anointed and represents an ideal truth that manifests divinely to transform the flawed incarnate era. It symbolizes what enters the human mind to change our flawed nature. The word incarnate derives from carnal, referring to the lower aspects of our being. It means something that manifests in the flesh, embodying the more earthly parts of ourselves. In John 1 verse 14, we read, "The Word was made flesh and dwelt among us." Jesus said, "The kingdom is within us, and that we must seek within ourselves to find it." He taught that we must focus on the single eye and separate from thought, warning that we lose the key when we don't look within. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Matthew 6 verse 21. We should store our treasure in heaven rather than on earth. This treasure is not a specific collection of objects, but rather anything we value deeply in life. In Matthew 7 verse 14, he said, "Enter through the narrow gate. The way is narrow, and few find it." When you follow these teachings, enter into meditation, and raise your consciousness, you will find it. To follow his teachings is to seek the kingdom of God within yourself. Then, you will find salvation. You will discover the light, the source of power. You will find the switch within yourself. And when you activate it, the light will shine, bringing you freedom. You will be free from all religions, doctrines, institutions, and organizations. Instead of following others, you will follow the light within you, and realize it is the most precious thing in the world. Jesus, whose actual name was Yeshua, did not come to incarnate into this life to demonstrate his own greatness. He came to show us how great we are. That is the essence of his message. He came to reveal that what he embodies is also within each of us. He came to show us how to connect with this divine essence, and how we can become one with it. The witness is within you, the Spirit is in you, the life is in you. The I Am is in you. Thus, man, in his essence, is God. In John 10 verse 34, Jesus says, "Is it not written in your law, I said you are gods?" Jesus earnestly tried to convey that each person could achieve salvation by invoking their own divinity, rather than seeking it outside themselves. There is no divine presence elsewhere, it is within you. the supreme, beautiful I, and your own divinity are within you. When you connect with this divinity, dormant brain cells begin to awaken, pulsating with new ideas, understanding, wisdom, and freedom. This transformation then flows out to embrace the world. Ascension, in its essence, presents the transition from an old, unawakened self to a new, enlightened self. It involves moving from being passive, unaware, helpless, and unreflective to being active, self-aware, conscious, reflective, and self-responsible. In the Gospel of Matthew 16 verse 24, Jesus tells his disciples, "If anyone desires to come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me." This is one of the most extraordinary affirmations of the transformation of the human psyche. This teaching reveals that to embody the mind of Christ, the divine power within us capable of manifesting anything, we must first deny ourselves and take up our cross. This means crucifying and eliminating all negative thoughts we have about ourselves and our attachments. It involves confronting and overcoming all negative self-beliefs that act as obstacles on our path to realizing our divinity. We need to transcend the inferior self, which consists of limiting ideas like, "I can't," "I'm not capable," and "I don't deserve that." Instead, we should replace these with empowering beliefs such as "I can," and "I am capable." Christ, or the divine essence within us, represents the infinite potential of our essential divine nature. When we express thoughts or phrases like "I cannot," we oppose this inherent divine capacity. Therefore, we need to transcend the negative programming we hold about ourselves, as many people identify with their lower limiting aspects. Jesus' teaching instructs us to deny ourselves, take up our cross, and follow him, the omnipotent divine essence within us. Jesus said, "As you have believed, so let it be done for you," Matthew 8 verse 13. You already possess everything within your essential being, which is inseparable from you, and incomplete without you. This is where your true power lies. Your essential being is always complete, whether or not you are aware of it. Even if you don't feel this completeness, your essential being remains aware of it, and maintains your unbreakable connection to the divine, creative power within you. The totality is always present at your core, ready to take shape into the beautiful forms and delightful circumstances you choose with calm expectation. However, those who govern this world often try to keep us in low vibrations, anchoring us to the material plane. They have established institutions and organizations that make up the system. They tell us that we should kneel on the floor and hope for mercy from others. From childhood, they convince us that we are sinners, and condition us to believe and accept this identity. They keep us trapped by ensuring that even after death, we remain attached to our lower three chakras. According to ancient philosophies, when our minds and souls detach from the physical body, which represents Earth, we may still retain attachments to certain emotions or material things, such as food, sex, and possessions. These addictions keeping us anchored to the lower astral realms. If our consciousness remains fixated on materialism and negativity, we will continue to experience these lower vibrations, essentially manifesting as a form of hell in the astral planes. To break free from this cycle, it's crucial to detach from external distractions. This is why we are manipulated into becoming addicted to various distractions, social media, entertainment, and other stimulants. These aim to keep us focused on the root chakra, which represents our animal nature and material existence. However, we need to transcend this and focus on being mind over matter. The goal is to recognize that we are not just our physical bodies, but an eternal essence of consciousness. Our purpose is to break free from identifying solely with our animal nature, and realize our true, undying consciousness. In simple terms, imagine the divine essence descending from the brain into the solar plexus, where incarnation occurs, symbolized as the manger. The crucifixion of the five senses metaphorically sends this Christ essence back up to the pineal gland. All this relates to the idea that the temple of God is within us. We are like children in the womb, preparing to be born into the heavenly realms. Just as a baby, upon realizing there is a world beyond its mother, begins to move and seeks to emerge into the external world, our minds, once they recognize the existence of realms beyond this one, will also seek a way out. To be born again is to move beyond this world, just as a baby is born into a new existence. In Gnostic traditions, the cross is often seen as a symbol of the intersection between the spiritual and material worlds. It represents the point where divine knowledge can be accessed, allowing us to transcend the material plane and return to the divine source. The cross is the meeting point between God and man, the upper and lower aspects of our being, as well as between our masculine and feminine sides, the sun and moon, the left and right sides of our body. It symbolizes the equilibrium of all our parts, with this balance occurring at our heart center. Living from the heart, the center of equilibrium, means harmonizing the chakras, as the heart represents the balance between good and evil. This balance can strengthen our connection to our true cosmic intelligence. This is why, in many paintings, Jesus is depicted pointing to the heart as the center. It is the center of the torus field, and represents the balance between male and female, positive and negative poles. To live from the heart, you must align all your chakras and unify them in the heart chakra. The chakras, also known as the 7 seals in the Bible, are energy centers that, when balanced, enable a deeper connection with our inner self. The body manifests both the lower and higher self, the higher self in wisdom, intuition, and expression, and the lower self in sex, food, and power. The mind is the bridge between the soul and the body, and by keeping it focused on power, food, and sex, you remain tied to lower vibrating energies. This traps your soul in the physical realm. To rise above, it's essential to balance and connect with the higher energies of heaven. You must keep an open mind to expand your consciousness beyond the stars and the ethereal barrier. You need to vibrate at a higher frequency than this world, with your consciousness extending beyond the physical plane. Our soul generates electromagnetic energy, and by keeping our consciousness confined to this physical realm, this energy is harnessed in the astral realms. As the mind influences the astral realm, which is the domain of imagination, our energy is essentially used to manifest negative entities, because our mind creates these entities through emotions and mental thought energy. These entities, often reflections of our wounded ego, are the obstacles on our pathway to our true divine essence. By transcending all negative emotions, traumas, envy, greed, and judgments, we free ourselves to realize our highest potential and align with our true divine nature. The message is clear: change your perspective and let go of harmful self-concepts and attachments. However, many people will be asking themselves right now, how do I do that? The rational mind always seeks the how, but this is not what interests your subconscious. Your subconscious responds to what you want, because wanting is power. What truly matters is making the absolute decision right now, to remove all the negative beliefs you have about yourself and the world. You need to commit to this change immediately, in the present moment, the eternal now. The most remarkable aspect of this teaching is that you are not the one transforming your mind. It is the mind of Christ within you, the divine power within you, that will carry out the transformation. However, you must first make a firm decision to commit to this process. Once you have made the decision, you will gain the strength needed to achieve it. The methods and paths will reveal themselves because of your commitment. You and the Christ within you are one. This is a crucial paradigm shift to understand. This Christ power originates from within, not from without, and it operates through your decisions. Are you truly willing and determined to eliminate the negative aspects of yourself? The time will inevitably come when you must put this into practice. It is part of your destiny, whether you like it or not, to know God, and to know God is to know yourself. Understand yourself, and you will understand the universe and its energies. Understand yourself, and you will come to know the divine. All ancient philosophies convey the same truth: ignorance obscures our understanding. This ignorance, ingrained in our evolutionary process, prevents most people from realizing the profound reality that God and Christ reside within their own consciousness. It is up to you to decide if you are truly ready to eliminate all negative beliefs right now. This is the moment. If you were waiting for a sign, this is it. True healing comes from recognizing the divine spark within and transcending earthly limitations. Through inner knowledge and awakening, we are spiritually reborn, experiencing a new state of being, both in this life and beyond. This is the moment to eliminate all limiting opinions and recognize that you are an extraordinary, invaluable being. What more needs to happen in your life for you to awaken? You might activate situations that seem negative, but these are actually calls for your attention. The divine within you is calling for activation. An extraordinary life awaits, you simply need to choose to accept it today, in this moment. Remember that what seems difficult or impossible is never beyond the power of the divine essence within you. What may appear improbable is not truly impossible. There is always a possibility. This possibility becomes reality when you awaken the divine power within your own consciousness. Thank you for joining me on this journey of inner exploration and spiritual awakening. Remember, the answers you seek are already within you, waiting to be uncovered. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with others who might be on a similar path. And let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your insights and experiences. Until next time, keep nurturing that divine spark within. Stay conscious, stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next video.